This is a fan. And this is also a fan. It doesn't look like one. It looks like a lamp. This is a Dyson fan, and it was invented by Sir James Dyson in 2009. It's also called the Bladeless fan, and it uses the Coanda effect to put out up to 15 times more air than a regular fan. A jet engine is basically a fan on steroids, so I was thinking to myself, would this concept work as a jet engine? The idea of making a bladeless jet engine is not new, and definitely not mine. In fact, there's an entire company called Jetoptera that is trying to adapt this concept to make a flying car. On paper, this all sounds pretty cool, but from my experience, a fan with no blades is a paradox. It's like a car with no tires, or a peanut butter and jam sandwich without peanut butter, or jam, or bread. A fan needs blades, it's just the way the world works. So please explain to me, how in the hell is the Dyson fan not using blades? Well, as you might have guessed, the Dyson fan also uses blades, but they are hidden in the base, in the form of an impeller. The impeller works as a dynamic air compressor that increases the pressure of the air and forces it to come out of slits placed in the interior surface of a ring. This peculiar design uses the fact that air is sticky to pull extra air from the back and the sides of the fan, and thus multiplies the amount of air that is thrown on your hot face. So I had this idea of basically replicating this fan on a smaller scale, but also placing a combustion chamber where the air is at the highest pressure. This should generate a lot of gas, and with a little bit of luck, thrust. To replicate the design, I started by using my resin 3D printer to create that fancy ring that has the slit on it. It took almost 6 hours to 3D print this. This is probably the biggest thing I ever 3D printed in resin. Let's take it out and give it a look. I had the fancy ring, but I also needed a compressor, so I 3D printed an impeller and a diffuser. To spin the impeller, I used the ultra mega potent electric motor that I have, and also scares the bejesus out of me. Hello? Please don't blow up. Am I out of battery? Oh. Well, it's not blowing out, so this might work. To support both the motor and the impeller, I 3D printed the support in orange PLA, because orange is the best color, and those who do not agree with me can unsubscribe right now. That was a joke. Don't unsubscribe, please. As a combustion chamber, I used an acrylic tube as usual. I should probably use other materials, but other materials have a tendency to be opaque, and I want to see what's going on. To disperse the fuel, I used a brass tube that I bended in the shape of a ring. I gotta tell you, I'm getting good at this. If YouTube doesn't pan out, I can just become a jewelry maker. Just kidding, I would starve to death. Don't forget to subscribe, please. As ignition, I thought it would be a good idea to use some of that incandescent filament they use in vapes. It gets pretty hot and it should be able to ignite the fuel, but guess what? It didn't. Instead, I used my good old Tesla coil that always gets the job done. Nice. Go Tesla! With the basics sorted out, I assembled everything and gave it a go. Did I kill the motor? I think so. He's dead. Where's my mustache? So, my 3D printed compressor is not really working. Which is a shame, but as my grandfather used to say, sometimes you just have to spend some money to make things work. Yeah, he normally used this expression when referring to his marriage. I'm not married, but I guess this also applies to my problem. I bought one of those air compressors that people use to fill up air mattresses and plastic pools, and it works pretty well. It generates enough pressure to fill up a blue balloon. I'm not sure if that is the best indicator, but I really wanted to say blue balloon. I 3D printed a diffuser in PLA and assembled everything. With everything ready, I first tested up the setup as a bladeless fan, and it worked pretty well. Yeah! Oh, glue. Jesus. good idea to let this dry first.
As you can see, the fan pulls in the smoke from behind the casing because of science. Next, I equipped the jet engine with ignition and fuel and gave it a test. Unfortunately, I'm a moron and I didn't turn on the microphone, which is a shame because it actually performed decently. Anyway, I 3D printed another one and gave it a go.
Okay, start it. Okay. That was pretty cool. I mean, you could definitely see the exhaust because the resin was breaking up and it was generating smoke which was coming out of the back. The fun thing about all of this is that the only thing that is breaking is this part here. The rest is handling the heat pretty well. Even the acrylic. I mean, is gaining some bubbles and being a little bit opaque, but apart from that is working pretty well. I just kind of need to make this part impermeable to heat. Yes. Let's keep on going. So this one is recording. Hello there, guys. Okay, open the door. Oh my god! That just exploded! That was pretty cool. That was even cooler than the other one. Oh look, just melted glue all over the place. I really need to find a casing that can withstand the temperature because this is pretty cool. Did you see the white exhaust coming out of it? I'm not sure if I caught it on camera, but maybe in the slow motion. Did you catch it, Katrina?
She did. As you can see, there's a beautiful white exhaust coming out of the engine. I don't really know why the flame is white, but what I do know is that this part here is not handling the heat for too long, which means I need to find a way to make it heat resistant. My first thought was to use my ceramic printer to get an exact replica, but in ceramic, which can take the heat. But that didn't work because of the complex geometry that was creating too much suction in the build plate and making the part fall into the vat. My second plan was to 3D print a negative mold that I would fill with refractory cement. Then I would take the part to the furnace and burn the plastic off. That kind of worked, but I messed up the internal geometry, which got me a part that was not exactly what I wanted. I tried it again with a 2-part mold, but because I didn't have any more refractory cement, I used regular cement, and the result was just bad. As a last resort, I used fast drying plaster, which I thought it had worked, but the resulting part was so fragile that by the time I got it to the camera, it already broke. Yeah, in the end I wasn't able to make that part heat resistant, which is a shame, but I can always try it again on another video. In the meantime, if you want to try and do a better job than I did, well, I'm leaving all the 3D models in the description down below. If for some reason you don't have a 3D printer, well, let me help you with that. On my last video I gave away a 3D printer to the most liked comment suggesting a theme for a future video. The winner was Skip Schnitzel, and he suggested that I could build a stand to measure the thrust my rockets produce. Yeah, that sounds like something that I actually need to build. If you also want to win a 3D printer, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and post a comment suggesting a theme for a future video. The most liked comment will receive a brand new 3D printer. Well, this is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, tomatoes are disgusting. Also, don't forget to check out the link in the description down below, omaze.com/intexa, for the chance to win amazing prizes. Good luck, and see ya!
Yes. Oh, yeah, it broke here. No bueno. I need to find another solution, something that is less propense to breaking. Impellers in resin, not the best solution, I guess.